And on to business stories. The World Bank and some of the world's leading economies have warned that prolonged conflict in the Red Sea and escalating tensions across the Middle East risk having devastating effect on the global economy, reigniting inflation and disrupting energy supplies. In a chat with analysts at STIRS, News Central's Perpetua Fasanmi-Peter examines the risks and opportunities the conflict presents to Africa and more specifically Nigeria. Her reports.
The World Bank says the Middle East crisis with the war in Ukraine has created real dangers. Analysts have also identified risks such as higher interest rates, lower growth, persistent inflation, and greater geopolitical uncertainty, with real impact on Nigeria and other sub-Saharan African countries.
So it's twofold. First, the impact on shipping costs, shipping of oil and energy commodities, and also the fact that if other countries get involved, then their oil supplies could be jeopardized or damaged, and we could see reduced oil supply in the global market. For countries like Nigeria, Angola, that are oil and gas producing countries, higher prices are an opportunity to make more money from oil exports if they can ramp up production. The only issue there is Nigeria and Angola, as we know, have had issues with oil production. On the other hand, it also means higher fuel prices, so higher costs of petrol, diesel, cooking gas, and kerosene prices. For consumers, it's not good news because higher prices, obviously, with inflation in Nigeria at 28.9%, it means that there's even a greater risk of much higher inflation.
Beyond the impact on energy prices, an escalation could also impact food security in this region.
When you don't have those imports coming in at the rates they normally do because of unrest in that area, you are then likely to have higher food prices because two things normally happen. First, if you are to do business along that area of unrest, you're going to have higher insurance costs for those ships that are passing through there. If you don't pass through there and you're going to pass the long way, so passing the long way meaning going around West Africa, the Cape of Good Hope, what's going to happen is that you're going to add about 9 days to the journey, and you're going to add a cost of several tens of thousands of dollars as well to every shipment. Now, again, that translates to higher costs. And African inflation last year, I think was about 10% or so average across the continent. That is very, very high. And if those numbers don't come down soon, they're going to have people who are already struggling just to get the basics.
Since 2020, the world has faced 2 global shocks, with the Middle East crisis making it 3. This is a wake-up call for countries to build resilience to such external shocks.
The government is supposed to have policies in place that should help it to be able to address certain external shocks, maybe not all of them, but address them to an extent, so that the citizens are not exposed to the full weight of those external shocks. But our government has not been able to do that over time. The main structural problem with Nigeria and Africa is productivity. So those productivity issues around agriculture and outside agriculture as well, manufacturing and the like, those need to be addressed.
The past few years have taught us that crises can and do happen. Hence, governments at all levels must develop structures that will give them headroom to maneuver them. In Lagos, for News Central, I am Perpetua Fasanmi-Peter.